Well, the first of thousands of U.S. troops have now arrived in Poland and Germany to support NATO amid fears of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. And now we're learning that Vladimir Putin has 110,000 troops amassed on the border. CBS's David Martin has new reporting on when the Russian president might make his move.
Russia now has 70% of the forces in place to mount a full-scale invasion of Ukraine that would be the largest war in Europe since World War II. U.S. officials still do not believe Vladimir Putin has made a final decision to unleash the massive armies gathering around Ukraine. But if he does, it will likely be after the ground freezes in mid-February and after the Beijing Olympics end on February 20th. Putin was in Beijing today, where he and President Xi issued a joint statement supporting one of Putin's key demands, an end to NATO expansion, and accusing the U.S. of a Cold War mentality, which drew this reaction from the Pentagon.
If anybody's guilty of a Cold War mentality right now, it's China and Russia, not the West, not the United States. And if anybody's the aggressor right now in Europe, it's Russia. They're the ones with over 100,000 troops aligned against the other border with Ukraine.
A full-scale invasion would likely begin with airstrikes and long-range artillery barrages, followed by airborne and armored advances on several fronts to isolate the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv, along with other key cities like Kharkov and Odessa, within days. An offensive in the east of Ukraine would pin down half the Ukrainian military, which could suffer up to 25,000 casualties. Civilian casualties could go as high as 100,000, along with up to 5 million refugees. The Russian military could take up to 10,000 casualties.
As if the stakes weren't high enough, Putin has rescheduled a long-standing nuclear exercise usually held in the fall for later this month. The last time he rescheduled this exercise was in 2014 when he invaded Crimea. Norah?
Just stunning. David Martin with all those new details. Thank you.